This is Ghana, West Africa. When I was 7, I was brought to this country and forced into a system I knew nothing about. This is me. I was held as a slave in a religious shrine.
What crime is this child paying for?
Her uncle committed adultery.
Thousands of women across West Africa have lost their freedom because of a practice called Trokoshi, and it's still happening.
Does she know why she's here?
Now I'm on a journey to try and understand what happened. To find answers to questions I've had on my mind for years.
This is it.
What is Trokoshi? And why did my family give me away?
Hey, this is Brigitte. Yeah, you're my Uber.
My name is Brigitte Sosu Perini. I live and work in Accra, the capital of Ghana. It's the city where I feel most free.
Did you just start it or morning?
Since morning.
Since morning.
But my first memories in this country are among my darkest. I was trafficked here from my home in neighboring Togo and held in captivity as part of a practice called Trokoshi.
You never heard of their belief system, Trokoshi?
Yes. It is even practiced in my hometown. And some people are still there.
Some girls are still there.
Some girls are still there.
Trokoshi is illegal and it's not often talked about in Accra. But to my surprise, Richard tells me his own grandmother is living as a Trokoshi.
But to them themselves that are involved, they are not feeling bad because they believe in the system.
This same system robbed me of my childhood. 20 years later, I'm on a journey to understand what really happened. I was told I had to leave home to go and live with my uncle. I was placed on the back of a motorbike. I didn't even know the driver. I thought it was the strong wind causing my tears, but I think I was actually crying because I was being taken away from my family. And then I was left at a place I had never been before. I didn't even understand the language. They took away my clothes and wrapped me in a purple cloth. They even took away my name.
How old is this little girl? 7 years old. Do you know why you're here?
In 1997, I was filmed by an American news crew at the place I was being held, a shrine run by a priest dedicated to the worship of deities. I was labeled a Trokoshi, a wife of the gods, paying for a crime committed by a family member.
Do you miss your parents?
Yes.
I remember feeling a range of emotions.
Neglect, rejection, isolation. Adding to that, the idea of that could have been my life. That could have been my life. That could have been my life. And that's why I feel like I don't watch it much.
But this report changed everything. With the help of a charity called International Needs, an American viewer flew to Ghana to negotiate my release. His name was Kenneth Perini, and he will become my adoptive father. He took me to the US, where I spent the next 13 years. I was relieved to be out after about a year in the shrine, but there was a huge emptiness that could never be filled.
I was still thinking about my Togolese family, my birth family. But it was in my heart, in my mind. I never stopped thinking about them.
A few years later, my American dad and I agreed I should go and look for them. The charity that freed me helped me find my village and filmed my return. My family had no idea I was coming. I didn't even know if I'd find all of them alive. I hadn't seen my mother since I was 7 years old. I found out I even had a little brother who I had never met. That day was so surreal, almost like a dream. Now that I'm older, I feel ready to explore the cultural background of Chokoshi. It's practiced in parts of Ghana, Togo, and Benin by various ethnic groups, one of which is the Ewe. I'm driving into Ghana's Volta region, a large area of lakes and rivers where Chokoshi is most prevalent. So right now we are following Richard, whom I met the first day of the journey. After our chat in the Uber taxi, Richard invited us into his community to speak with a group of Ewe elders. To mark our arrival, they were saying prayers and pouring libation to their gods. But they believe if you offend the gods, they can bring misfortune. I would like to know if there has ever been human sacrifice. He's talking about Chokoshi, where you are banished from the community to pay for the crimes of your family. Another elder tells me that 2 of her relatives were sent to the shrine. Given this fear of punishment from the gods, I can understand why the Chokoshi practice has survived for over 300 years. But for me, life in the shrine meant no life at all. Each day, I was woken at 5 a.m. and sent to fetch water. I had to carry heavy buckets on my head. It was hard physical work for a child. I was made to sweep the compound and work long hours on the farm. I wasn't allowed to play or even go to school. I was in total isolation. On the campus of the University of Ghana, I am meeting up with Dr. Robert Ame and Reverend Walter Pimpong. They are both experts on the Chokoshi practice. They've spent their lives raising awareness of the abuses that go on in the shrine.
For the practice to be consummated, there was a need for the traditional priest to sleep with a virgin girl who comes in.
Sexual servitude was common, and many women will bear the children of the priests. I was liberated before puberty, so I didn't have to go through this. But I wanted to know why someone would serve time for another person's crime.
It is believed that they have a right to select any member of their family to serve in their shrine, whether that person committed a crime or not. By the collective principles, they believe they are doing the right thing.
It's like one or two men
Yeah.
within the family
Yeah.
that gets to decide
Well,
for
but
the family.
because those are their values. We are one.
When I left the shrine in 1997, there were about 5,000 Chokoshi women and children in Ghana alone. Thousands were liberated and Chokoshi was made illegal in 1998. But no priest has ever been prosecuted, and the practice still goes on. I meet back up with Richard, the Uber driver, whose grandmother is still living as a Chokoshi. Shortly, we'll be going to see your grandmother. Could you tell me a bit more of how you feel about her being a Chokoshi?
After our grandfather slept the Fiashidi, it seemed there were sickness, challenges happening in the family. So this, our grandmother, sacrificed herself for us.
So does that make you believe?
That's their belief. And as they give our grandmother out, all the sickness and the challenges stop.
So
That is why we are happy for our grandmother to be there.
like me, Richard's grandmother was given to a shrine to atone for a relative's sin.
Even if you're from the community, you can, if someone believes